Yes, yes, my people was good. My name is CKay, aka CK the First. I'm the future of Afrobeats, and you're now watching Factory 78 TV. Keep it locked, don't touch that. It is. It's actually my first time. I'm really excited. The city is really beautiful, but it's cold though. I feel like I came at the wrong time. It was like -1 degree last night. It's crazy, but we're out here. We're out here. I'm here to basically go around to all my supporters and friends in the media. Everybody showing me love, and it's been really amazing. And I hope to come back next year, February. But yeah, I've been having a good time so far. I'm really, really excited.
So where have you visited so far? Since you've been
Yeah, so I was at the London Eye. I went to Winter Wonderland with a couple friends of mine, but by the time we got there, it was like closed. I also went to the Oxford Circus as well. Yeah, I haven't had much time for sightseeing because like my schedule has been crazy. I've been going from interview to interview to interview. I've also had a couple studio sessions with some crazy producers. Yesterday I was in the studio with producer boy. Q is retired, and the day before that I was in the studio with J Rock. So like we've been banging out some crazy records, and yeah, man, I've just been catching vibes of the city, meeting all my friends in the media, especially, which is like the main reason I'm here. Yeah, man, I'm basically here to just like link up with all my friends in the media who've been showing me love, who've been playing my music, and to meet the ones who haven't been playing my music. I've been to so many places. I was at TGM Radio. I was at the Beat London. I was at One Extra with DJ Edu, really amazing guy. I linked up with DJ Semtex as well. Um, yeah, like it's just been crazy. Like we've been going all over the place. We've been waking up by like 8 and coming back home by like 10 every day. It's been crazy, but I'm really really excited because like there's like it's all love out here, and yeah, man, it's just only right that I come through and meet everyone in person and like solidify my relationships with everyone, and it's been great so far. Yeah, man. I grew up in a really small town in Nigeria called Kaduna State. Um, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. My parents weren't rich. They were working class. My dad is a doctor. My mom is a nurse. They're both retired now, though. But yeah, growing up, I had humble beginnings. I went to school, a school called Zamani College, which was like actually it was a British school. The principal was a British woman, and it's very similar to schools here and everything. So yeah, that was kind of cool. And I always used to like I was surrounded by music growing up. You know, I used to like pick up the remotes in the house and I'd sing along to Celine Dion song, Westlife, Backstreet Boys, all these people. And that was like my first contact with music, and I just gravitated towards it like really strongly from the very beginning. So when I was like 7, my dad taught me how to play the piano, and that was like my first contact with an instrument, you know. Then when I was 12, I learned the guitar myself. I taught myself how to play the guitar because I really liked the guitar, and there was no one to teach me, so I learned it online. And yeah, I started producing as well at the time. So that was like when I started creating my own music, because prior to that I was always like singing along to people's music. So this was like my first experience with creating my own, and I made like lots of mistakes. I made a lot of shit songs, but I got really good at it. And yeah, man, in school I was really popular because I was like the only boy who could sing. So all the girls liked me, and all the guys were hating on me because like they were even making fun of me that singing is gay. Yeah, whatever that meant, you know. But either ways, I mean, the chicks loved me or whatever, and I'd sneak my phone into the school, and I'd play the songs I recorded at home. I mean, I didn't even record it with a proper microphone. I just had like one of those headsets, and I'd play for everyone, and they'd be like, "Yo, you made this song," and I'll be like, "Yeah, I made it." So all the other guys who used to rap started asking me to make beats for them. So that's kind of how I started producing for other people, and I was like, oh shit, I can make some money from this. So like that was basically the beginning for me. Basically, that's how I started. I moved to Lagos when I graduated from secondary school. Um, Basically, it was a situation of me not seeing eye to eye with my parents as regards my career choice. Cause in school I was really brilliant. Like I have a genius IQ. My IQ is 169. Yeah, so like I was doing really well in school. I was literally coming first like every single time. And in a classic African home, every parent just wants their child to be a doctor or a nurse or one of those poster occupations like lawyer, because they feel like those careers give you a more secure future and everything. And I mean, I understand it, but however, um, I knew that I was really brilliant in school, but I never really saw myself doing any of those things as an occupation. Like, I never saw myself going to an office every day. I never really saw myself, yeah, in that line. I just wanted to do music because I loved it. Even before I started making 1 naira from music, like I had a group in Kaduna called Creative Music. We were three, and we got really popular just from like the internet. We post our music on Facebook and tag everyone on Twitter, tag everyone, and in our locality, we were really big. We organized our own concert, and we sold out the tickets. And I was like, yo, if we could do this without radio, without TV, without an industry, imagine what we could do if we moved to Lagos. So I made a decision that, yo, I want to move to Lagos and I want to do this thing like real time, like do it play in the major leagues basically. And my parents were not having that. I tried to convince them so many times. I tried to be as reasonable as possible. My parents just felt like all artists do is smoke weed and fuck bitches and all that shit. So basically, I had to make an executive decision that am I going to take this risk and live out my dreams in the next couple years, or am I going to please my parents and have regrets 20 years down the line? So I took the former and I came to Lagos. It was really scary for me. I didn't have anyone. I saved up some money and I came here, and the plan was to find studios to work in until I got a deal. So I was working in like 3 studios at the same time, and yeah, eventually I got a deal, and yeah, now we're here. It's challenging. It's a challenge. I won't say it's difficult because difficult means it's like something that cannot be done. But I'd say it's a challenge which I believe I'm equal to. First of all, there's like a lot of artists. I feel like right now there are more artists than fans. So it's important to be yourself. It's important to make music, make content, make visuals that stand out and are culturally relevant. So there's that. Also, the way the industry is set up, like there's so many disadvantages. Like I mean, like we don't really get royalties from radio like we should. There's a collecting body called COSON, which there's like a whole lot of back and forth on COSON because apparently I think the percentage they take from artists is like way too much. I think they take like 60% or 70% of royalties, and the artists that actually make the music are left with like the smaller percentage. That's one. I mean, in the UK, if they play your song, like you have publishing, your producer gets publishing as well. Like yeah, that there's a working structure, but in Nigeria, this structure is still very much nebulous. It hasn't quite formed yet, so it's yeah, it's kind of difficult. Also, like there's lots of free music flying around, like blogs we posting free music, and this really really affects the income of the artist because it's expensive to make music, it's expensive to promote music, it's expensive to shoot videos. So like when you have people, more than 90% of the population of a country of 180 million, once you have like those people getting music for free, that's like a problem. So basically we mostly make our money from shows, endorsements. I mean, we make money from streams, mostly from the woke Nigerians and the Nigerians in diaspora. And it's so crazy because these days we even get streams from people that are not Nigerian. Like I have Americans streaming my music, I have Germans streaming my music, I have people in Netherlands streaming my music. So thank God for the advent of Apple Music and Spotify and every other DSP. Yes. So basically, like I said earlier, I can't just come to Lagos and just start singing and getting paid for shows without a single, without a music video, all of which costs money, which I did not have. So I decided to use what I did have to get what I did not have. So I started working in studios. I was mixing and mastering for one guy, I was producing for another guy, and I was mixing and mastering for another guy. So I had like three studios I was shuffling at the same time. And in the process, I ended up producing a couple big songs for some Chocolate City artists, and that was like my first insertion point into the industry. So many people knew me as a producer, and I eventually got signed as a producer in Chocolate City. At the time I came to Chocolate City, they liked my music, the A&R loved my music and my vibe, but the label just underwent a merger with Loopy Music, so there was like 13 artists on the roster, and they were not really trying to sign new artists, so I had to like chill for a while. So eventually I did get signed as an artist, and yeah, man, now we're here. So um it's a family. As much as it's a company, it's more of a family. It's a couple gentlemen that came from Jos, Aldo Mikori and Paul Okugo, who had a passion for music. They both had their respective careers, but they just had a passion for this thing called music, and they decided to create something out of nothing, and that's how Chocolate City came about. And it's been over 10 years now, and it's been a crazy journey. And yeah, predominantly it's just a family. As much as it's a business, is a family kind of thing. Right now I'm really really feeling SARS is my number one, and I have reasons. Like I listen to his work and I hear the details, I hear the thought process, and I'm like, yo, this guy is something else. And he's been in the industry for quite some time, and he's made quite a number of hits. And it's clear that it's not a fluke. Um, Another producer I'm really feeling right now, the young producers, Killer Tunes, definitely. Kel P is also really really talented. Then a couple younger producers, Tempo produced a couple songs on my EP. Iliri EXO is also really really talented. He's got like most of the stuff on my next project. He produced it. He's really really crazy. Just remember that I said it first, cause he's gonna be really big. So trust me. Um, yeah, basically, I think these are the guys. I also really like Tuzi Beats. He produced Sensima for Skibi,
Okay.
and Rora Ricardo Banks. I'm also feeling P Prime. There's this guy called P Prime. He's really really dope as well, and Lush Beats as well. He's really, there are lots of them, man. But like I'd say these are like at the forefront for me. I mean, like I was just chilling, and he just came for me, and I mean, it's so crazy because that was like the first time I was just trending on Twitter for no reason. I was like number one trending
So
topic.
where were you when you
I was
guys
just
went
in
to
my
that show?
room, man. Like it's so crazy, like how the whole country, they left politics, they left fuel prices, they left unemployment, and they started talking about this guy called CK for like 48 hours. It's so crazy. I can't even lie. I enjoyed the attention, and yeah, I dropped like instead of responding with like insults or beef tracks or whatever. Yeah, I just use music because music is the weapon. I had like a bunch of songs which I was actually planning to release. So me and my team, we had a conversation and we are like, you know what? Let's just reply with music. Let's just use this opportunity and put out more music. So I put like 6 songs together that I had, and I put it out as a playlist. It was like a mixtape actually, and people really really loved it. It was crazy. I had like so many radio stations organically playing the songs and everything. The streams were also crazy. So
Without
yeah,
paying no station, no.
nothing, man. So like
Okay.
I was really really excited about that. I'd say at that point that was like the first time many people started to pay attention to me because they were like, "Who's this guy that this guy called out and whatever?" And they now heard my music and they're like, "Yo, this guy is really dope." So like I got lots of fans from that, and yeah, man. After that, I went on to drop my first hit single called "Container," which is really really big. Apparently, I was in Ghana last week and the OAPs told me that, "Yo, we know this song is really big, but we didn't know who sang it." So I didn't even know the song was that big in Ghana. I went on to do a remix of the song with Zlatan and Moonchild Sinelli from South Africa, which also did really, really well. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good response to whatever that was. So, yeah. Um, I'd say I have a reasonable understanding of the music business. I mean, nobody knows it all. But I know enough, I'd say. And the type of deal I signed with Chocolate City, that's actually supposed to be confidential, but I would just say it's a it's an exclusive recording contract,
Okay.
a record deal. Oh,
The
now
music
I'm
artist
signed
too.
as I'm signed as a Chocolate City Warner Music artist because right now Chocolate City is a partner with Warner Music, and so technically I'm a Warner Music artist as well. So yeah, well, I mean these things, man. Like I don't know who makes these lists and things, but I think it's quite clear to everyone that Davido like had a really good year. Davido like listen, Fall is apparently like when they say Afrobeats in America, right?
True.
Fall was the song. Like that was like the poster boy for Afrobeats, before Burner started doing his madness and everything. So I don't know how that was overlooked, but I mean, whatever, man. Like I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm definitely on that list next year, Sha. That's what I know.
Sure.
So
Um,
well, um if my shit is hot, if my shit is good, DJs will play it regardless of what anyone says cuz DJs service the audience. If a DJ is up in the club and he's playing music, he's playing the music to service the audience, to service the people. So, if my song makes people have a good time and the DJ doesn't play it, he is doing a disservice to the people. So, I'm more worried about or more concerned about the quality of my music and how well it services the people as opposed to what another artist tells DJs to do. Because I feel like my music is the main. Do you get me? So, I mean, whatever, man. I don't. Yo, man, what a time to be alive. Like, listen, things that I never thought possible growing up, like I'm literally seeing it happen, like right in front of me, and it's crazy. Like Burna Boy just got a Grammy nomination. Like, I mean, in the past we've had Femi Kuti, we've had King Sonny Ade, we've had all these guys get Grammy nominations, um, but this is like the first urban contemporary Afrobeats artist to get a nomination for his album. I mean, technically, he's not the first because Wizkid also got a nomination for One Dance because the album, Drake's album, was nominated. But this time it was Burna's own album. That's a really big deal. So, like, I feel like, yo, like every day, Afrobeats is just breaking new ground. Like, we broke the Billboard ground the other day. Now we're breaking the Grammys. Hopefully, I mean, it's very likely that Burna is going to win that Grammy. And if he wins it, listen, ha, yo, like,
more people are coming to win it.
fam, our green passport has like the value of our green passport
Will
just
go up.
tripled, man. So
All the
like,
way up.
yeah, so I'm really really excited for what's going on with the Nigerian music industry right now, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I really want to be at that level doing really big things. making my country proud. Like I want to be a national treasure to Nigeria. Like let Nigerians be proud to be Nigerian because of the things I'm doing with my music. So that's part of why we're here. We're trying to expand the reach of our music. We're trying to make collaborate with UK artists, collaborate with Ghanaian artists. I was in Ghana last week and I had a remix of one of my songs on my EP called Love Nwantiti with Kwame Eugene, and it's sounding amazing. I was in the studio with Papi Kojo as well, Black Bones, Dice Ailes, Tania, Jay Darobi. You know, we've been making crazy records, and I'm also doing some collaborations with some Dutch artists. There's this guy called Brian MG who's really really big. He's got like an average of 7 million streams per song as well. Yeah, lots of stuff I'm working on. I also have a couple records with this guy from Belgium. His name is Young Felix. He has this really big song called Locomotive, which had like 100 million YouTube views. So I have like 2 records with him that are coming out real soon. So like I'm trying to make these moves so that I can be at the forefront of the culture, because that's like a dream for me. So yeah, man, I'm really really excited, and I'm pumped for 2020. 2020 is about to be a madness. So yeah, man, my new project is an EP of 8 songs. It's called CKay the First, and simply put, what I was trying to say with that project is that I'm the first of my kind. I'm the first of my breed of artists. I'm not the next Wizkid or the next Davido. I cannot be boxed. Yeah, I feel like I'm too talented. I'm too unique of an individual to be categorized by another artist, because, and I'm not even saying this because like I'm trying to be cocky or anything, but like I just have a very unique personality and a unique mix of emotions. Like first of all, like I'm from Anambra State. I'm Igbo. I grew up in Kaduna, which is like a Hausa state, and I live in Lagos. So like I grew up in a not very rich background. So I know what it means to hustle on the streets. Like I know what it means to have nothing, and I know what it means to like also be privileged to go to one of the best schools in my state. To, you know, I was in, also I would like in 2010 I participated in a physics competition in Vienna, Austria. Yeah, I was that smart. Yeah, so I came. So like this mixture of things, plus the fact that I grew up listening to classical music, I know how to play the piano, I know how to play the guitar, and I'm an introvert as well. So these elements of who I am, by virtue of what is, I can just not be like Wizkid or Davido. Like I cannot make the same sounds as them. I cannot talk about the same things as them. My experiences are different. My vibe is different. So I am CK the First, and I make urban Afrobeats music that with a twist that no one has ever heard before. You know, so like the first single on the EP is called Way. It's a fusion of classical music and Afrobeats. So I sampled Beethoven's Fifth Symphony on the song. It's never been done before. Nobody has ever done a classical music Afrobeats mix before. Then a song called Ski where I'm singing in falsetto almost all through the song. Then I switched to like a chant in the chorus. Falsetto is an R&B thing that most people don't ever do in Afrobeat. So like I was just trying to express myself at all times, no matter what the rules were. You know, DTF is the first song, which is I would say is the most unconventional love song you've probably heard, because it's bitterly honest. Yeah, I made that song because like I just got out of a relationship that was really really toxic for me, and I realized that if that relationship ended as a one night stand, which it was supposed to be, if we did not feel like we owed it to ourselves to date just because, then we could have still been friends by now. We could have avoided all the heartbreak, all the toxicity. Is that a word? Toxicity. Yeah, we could have avoided all that stuff, and yeah, man. So that's like me just expressing how I feel about that situation. And the track two the chorus doesn't even have words. It's just melodies and vibes, you know. Which is, these are things that are like conventions that in Afrobeats there's supposed to be one word repeating in the chorus. I decided that I don't want to have one word repeating in the chorus. I just want to have a melody that is really catchy. So that's just like my thought process with the project. I have a short film coming out next year. It's called it's a movie for CK the First. I don't have the
I
perfect
think you
name
should
for it
put
yet.
CK the first on your name now, man.
Yeah, man, because I'm the first. Just like the way the Queen Elizabeth has a, I don't know, the current queen. What is like her? Is it the fourth or the
Yes, yeah, something like that.
something like
Something
that?
like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm King
Queen
CK the
Elizabeth
First. Yes,
the
and I'm in
first.
London. In fact, I should probably have a palace here or something.
And that's good. Okay,
Yeah. So the film is really special. I personally felt the need to make visuals that are very compelling and different because I feel like the visuals in Afrobeats are very stereotyped. Like there's almost no creativity going on anymore. Everyone is doing the same thing. Nobody is feeling the need to shift culture. So I decided to look deep within myself and infuse something that I'm really passionate about, and something that I think is really jiggy, which is science fiction. I grew up watching a lot of science fiction. So it's so crazy because when I was even trying to shoot this film, when I said it in my label office, they were like, yo, this is really nice, but we don't know if the people are going to understand it because it's way over their heads. But I feel like
yeah, you can say outside of Nigeria. It doesn't have to be.
exactly. I feel like we even don't give Nigerians enough credit because I feel like Nigerians right now are really woke and they appreciate creativity. So it's basically a love triangle between an extraterrestrial female and a human female, and I'm like right there in the center. And I believe that we're not alone in the universe, but that's a different conversation. I mean, the Earth is way too small, and we're so insignificant, like in the grand scheme of things, that I don't believe we're the only ones. Like the Earth is like a speck of dust in the Pacific Ocean. Like that's how small we are. So I definitely believe that there are extraterrestrial beings. Apparently, between the years of 1985 and the year 2000, there were over 150,000 UFO sightings. And this is excluding Africa. I feel like for some reason, all these stories, Africa is always excluded. Like, if aliens were visiting the planet, like, would they conveniently not visit Africa? You get
The
me?
journey will start from Africa, I believe.
Exactly, because Africa is just too late. I mean, and this is even like excluding the fact that there are rumors that aliens probably helped to build the pyramids of Egypt because apparently the building blocks were too big to have been carried by human beings without cranes at that time. But that's a different conversation. So as much as there's the literal meaning to the film, there's also a deeply poetic meaning as well to people who are deep enough to understand it. So the girl, she's an alien, and she's a figurative alien as well because she's someone that is misunderstood, someone who is not like everyone else, and that's kind of how I am as a person, and that's why I don't fall in love very often because it's really rare for me to meet someone who's at that unique,
Not same thinking as you.
yeah, who's like on the same frequency. So like
Right.
yeah, so that's why she's an alien, and that's why I depicted her in that way. It's poetic. Every single thing is poetic. I don't want to talk too much about the film.
Okay, right. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
you guys should just watch out for it. It comes out February 2020. I feel like the government has highly misplaced priorities. Like seriously, they should go and build underground in Lagos, please, first, before talking about social media laws. They even overground. We don't even have overground in Lagos. So like I think it's more sensible to do stuff like that than to be restricting people's freedom of speech because like that is basically an infringement on basic human rights.
Human rights.
Yeah, and I feel like that's wrong, no matter how you want to spin it. I mean, I'm sure they have their own reasons because they feel like social media is really powerful, and when the whole country decides to come together and talk about an issue, it's really powerful. Like for instance, when we're trying to end SARS, when all the Nigerians decided that yo, we want to speak up and raise our voices against SARS, it was trending back to back to back to back, and they ended up disbanding SARS, but they brought it back again, which is really crazy and makes no sense to me. But I think they've just realized how powerful it is and they're trying to silence us. But I think it's wrong. I'm 100% against it, and I feel like we have more important things to do as a country, man. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CKAY_YO. As soon as you get there, hit the link on my bio. Listen to my EP, CKay the First. It's out on all stores, on Apple Music, it's on Spotify. Wherever your preferred music store is right there. Go get it. Listen, enjoy yourself. It's the best Afrobeats EP of 2019. I said it. Listen, share with your friends, and enjoy.